So a story that I really like telling, it's actually a pretty funny story that my wife enjoys telling more than I do, just because the situation happened to me, is this. I used to work for a firm that did a lot of testing in and around other parts of the country, so became accustomed when I was on the road several weeks at a time. I just got my haircut at wherever place. As you can see from the screen, my haircut really isn't that bad of a haircut or that hard of a haircut to do, so it really didn't matter where I went to. So my wife and I, before she was my wife, we went to this small place just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. And my wife went first. All she needed was a quick trim on the bottom of her hair, cut off the dead roots and everything. Me, a little different. I just wanted to get, this haircut done. So while the beautician is doing my haircut, she is having a pretty good conversation with my wife. And I could tell she wasn't really focused on what she was doing with my head, but more on the conversation she was having with my wife. So through about halfway through the haircut, I hear a word that I really don't want to associate with a haircut, and that's the word oops. There was this pause. Next thing I heard was, well, I guess you're not paying for your haircut today. What she had done is she had basically taken a pretty large chunk out of my hair from about the bottom of my skull all the way to the top of my crown. And she tried to do her best to fix it, but it really didn't turn out right. So I was polite about the situation, thanked her for the free haircut, and we went back to our hotel room. Well, when I actually got a chance to look at my haircut, I realized that it really wasn't close to what I wanted, and I figured, you know what, I've got a set of clippers here in my duffel bag. I'll just finish it myself. I'll get myself a buzz cut. So there I am trying to give myself, or allowing my wife to give me a buzz cut, just trying to clean it up as best we could. And about halfway through that process, the battery in the clippers started to die. So I quickly take the hair clippers from my wife, and I'm going as fast as I can, trying to clean up my hair, trying to get everything done in time before the battery dies. And mid-stroke, I see the clipper, the guard on the clipper, tumble before my eyes because I was doing a stroke from back to front. And again, a huge chunk from this side, from the middle of my head down to the front, was just instantly removed from my hairline. So there I am, sitting in the bathtub with a reverse mohawk, basically, and my wife's hysterically laughing. So it doesn't end there. I decided to have a little fun with this towards the end. We were coming back in town about 2-3 weeks later, and there had some growth going, so it wasn't as bad as it was before, basically being completely clean shaven, and decided to have some fun. So I gave myself kind of another mohawk, and ended up playing a pretty good joke with my mom. She hadn't seen my hair yet, and I was wearing a knit cap, and I remember when I was growing up, she forbid me from ever having anything resembling a mohawk. So what I did is just had some fun with it, and I finished the mohawk off, so I gave myself a nice clean mohawk, and ended up dyeing it blonde, so it had maximum effect. And when we got home, first thing I did was I took the knit cap off, and my mom burst into tears laughing at me hysterically. So it definitely had an effect, but not the intended effect that I really wanted to have. So it was a great story for everybody. Me, not so much, or not as much as the rest of them. It's a good story to tell, but definitely a little sensitive about where I get my haircut now. So I hope you might enjoy my story, and I will see you guys next time.